Again, thanks for coming to Chapman via the 101 or wherever you came from.
405.
Can you kind of describe the, or an abridged version of the anatomy of an overall deal with the showrunner?
Sure. An overall deal is, just in case you don't know what it is, it's like an employment agreement. An overall deal is we buy a showrunner, which is the term you used. Showrunner is an executive producer who is most often a writer. But they're not only just a writer, but they are the head writer and they're the CEO of the particular show that they're working on. And generally they're the creator of the show, but not necessarily the creator of the show. And a showrunner is a pretty hot commodity in the television business. They are the auteur of the television business, much the way that directors are in the film business. It's their creative vision that is what you see on the screen. A director in television is more of not as much of an artistic influence on the product as it is in film. And the showrunner is someone who usually comes up the ranks as a staff writer, story editor, co-producer, supervising producer, co-executive producer. They work their way up the ranks. But it's a skill set also to learn how to run a show. You have to run a writer's room, which are the group of writers that sit around, editing scripts. You got to make sure that the show is produced on budget, on time, and delivered to the network and the studio. And it's running a business. So when you find a showrunner who's somebody of quality, studios like ours, you want to tie them up. So you make what's called an overall deal. An overall deal is a term, so it's generally 2 to 4 years. You pay someone a guarantee that says, I'm going to guarantee you X dollars a year. And I'm going to give you this little office here, and you're going to sit in that office, and you're going to come up with TV show ideas. And if we like them, we'll turn them into TV series. And if they turn them into TV series, you're the showrunner. And for every dollar you earn in that show, as a producer, we get to credit it against this guarantee we've given you for the 4 years or 2 years or 3 years, whatever it is. So you offset. And if you're lucky, you get your money back. If you're not lucky, you lose all your money. In some situations, you hit a home run, like we did once with the creators of Will and Grace. They were showrunners under contract at NBC Studios. They came up with the idea for Will and Grace. We created the show. It became $1 billion franchise for us, and we more than recouped our investment in the showrunner. As a showrunner, you also get a piece of the show that you create. So in addition to earning your fees as a producer, you have a profit participation in the show as well. So that's basically the anatomy of it. Does that help?
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's a good job to be a showrunner.
Yes. First of all, thank you for coming, and kudos for letting 30 Rock, portray NBC executives.
Jack Donnie.
Yeah, based on a true life story. I wanted to ask you, how hard is it to have the combination of having a show that can positively affect society and at the same time get ratings? Is that pretty tough nowadays?
It is tough. The social responsibility aspect of a television network is daunting because you influence culture, and if it's done right, it can be a great thing. And if it's not done right, it can be a scary thing. We have a responsibility because broadcast networks are over the public airwaves, so the FCC regulates us, and there are certain requirements that we have to fulfill every week, every year, in terms of providing educational programming to children or young kids, 3 hours a week, community-based programming, public service announcements, those kind of things. But to do a show, for example, like we do with The Biggest Loser, which has to have entertainment value first and foremost. It's got to be a show that people are going to want to watch. But a show like that has changed so many people's lives and has kind of fostered this entire little mini industry outside of the show. There's The Biggest Loser book and weight loss plan and weed gain that you can use, you know, to lose weight, and you know, it's really helped a lot of people. That's a great thing. When you hit that, you know, that's like hitting a home run, because it does great in the ratings, so it's a good business for us, and it also does good. But those aren't easy things to do.
Would you have been the same position if you had gotten your MBA instead of the law degree? Would you have entered the same industry?
You know, the way I came up, probably not, because the way I came up was on the business affairs side, which is a lawyer, kind of a lawyer's realm. You know, I started as a lawyer in private practice where I was doing entertainment transactional deals, and that enabled me to go to the business affairs side as a negotiator of business deals. And I'd say 95% of people that are business affairs negotiators at networks and studios are lawyers by training. So had I not had my law degree, I probably wouldn't have been able to come up that way. As an MBA, you know, I probably, if I wanted to break into the business, the same business I'm in, I would have come in through the finance side of things. And you know, my company GE has a very extensive finance program, and a lot of the operational heads of various businesses started off as financial people, and some of them, a lot of them have their MBAs. So, you know, I wish I had my JD and my MBA. And my MFA. All the things you guys are doing.